Dear Infinite Spirit, Divine Source of all creation, we open our hearts and minds to your presence right now. We invite your light to guide our words, our thoughts, and our actions. May every listener today feel the truth of their divine power within. Let us remember that we are not separate from you. We are extensions of your love, your abundance, and your creativity. And so it is. My friends, today's message is simple but profound. You can change your life by changing the way you speak to yourself. Your words are not mere sounds. They are energetic commands sent to the universe. When you affirm something with conviction, you are not begging for it to happen. You are declaring it as already true. Dr. Wayne Dyer often said, "You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are." And affirmations are the bridge between who you think you are and who you truly are, a limitless being connected to source energy. When you speak the words "I am," you are invoking the most powerful creative force in the universe. These are not just two ordinary words. I am is the name of God, the very essence of divine consciousness that flows through all creation. When Moses asked the divine presence to reveal its name, the voice from the burning bush replied simply, "I am that I am." It did not say "I will be" or "I was." It said "I am," because the divine exists only in this eternal present moment. And every time you speak "I am," you are calling upon that same creative energy that shaped galaxies and breathed life into you. The great truth is this: every statement you make after the words "I am" is a declaration to the universe, a command to the infinite field of energy that responds to your vibration. Most people speak unconsciously. They say things like, "I am tired, I am broke, I am unlucky, or I am not good enough." And the universe, which always mirrors our inner state, simply echoes back those affirmations in the form of matching experiences. You see, the universe doesn't judge your words, it simply agrees with your energy. So when you say "I am tired," you're aligning yourself with the frequency of exhaustion, and your body will follow. When you say "I am broke," you're affirming lack, and you will continue to attract circumstances that keep you in that vibration. When you say "I am not enough," you're dimming the very light that was placed within you before you were born. But when you begin to consciously direct those sacred words toward truth, toward love, toward expansion, toward divinity, you begin to rewrite the story of your life. Speak "I am" as a declaration of your spiritual identity, not your temporary condition. You are not your circumstances. You are not your bank account, your job, or your mistakes. You are a divine being temporarily expressing itself in human form. When you say "I am worthy," you are not trying to become worthy. You are affirming what has always been true about you. The "I am" consciousness is not about arrogance or false pride. It's not about trying to convince yourself of something untrue. It's about aligning your inner dialogue with the eternal truth of who you really are. You are not a limited being struggling to find power. You are power itself expressing through a temporary vessel. The ocean does not try to be the wave, it is the wave, and just as the wave contains the entire ocean within it, you contain the entire presence of God within you. When you wake up in the morning, the first words you speak are invitations to the universe. Begin your day by affirming who you are in spirit. Say, "I am love, I am peace, I am abundance, I am guided, I am exactly where I need to be." Feel those words not as distant goals, but as present realities. The more you claim them, the more your life rearranges itself to match your inner knowing. Affirmations are not wishful thinking, they are statements of identity. The universe always supports identity. If you identify as someone who struggles, you'll receive endless opportunities to struggle. If you identify as someone who is blessed, life will keep reminding you how blessed you truly are. This is not about ego, it's about vibration. Whatever follows "I am" will eventually find its way into your experience, because your outer world is a mirror of your inner declaration. Let's say you are trying to manifest greater success. You might think, "I want to be successful." But that statement, while sincere, keeps success in the future, somewhere out there separate from you. Instead, when you declare "I am successful," you bring that energy into the present. You become the frequency of success now, and life must rearrange itself to reflect that state of being. You begin to think, feel, and act like a successful person, not from ego, but from awareness. This is the secret behind all transformation. You must first become the energy of what you wish to attract. If you want love, be loving. If you want abundance, be generous. If you want peace, embody calmness. You don't wait for the world to confirm your worth. You affirm it first. The universe responds to who you are being, not what you are wanting. When you say, I am aligned with divine purpose, you awaken to a deeper truth that your life is not random. There is intelligence behind every detail, guiding you toward growth, expansion, and joy. You were not born to suffer through self-doubt and limitation. You were born to express the magnificence of creation through your own unique form. The divine doesn't make mistakes. You are a thought of God made manifest. And yet the power of I am requires mindfulness. You cannot affirm abundance for 5 minutes and then spend the rest of the day affirming lack through fear and complaint. The universe responds to your dominant vibration, not your occasional intention. This is why awareness is everything. Become conscious of your inner dialogue. Notice how often you use I am to describe limitation. Then gently shift those words toward truth. If you catch yourself thinking, I am overwhelmed, stop and breathe. Replace it with, I am centered in peace. When you feel uncertain, affirm, I am guided and supported. When doubt creeps in, say, I am trusting the process of life. You don't have to believe these words instantly. Belief grows with repetition. What matters is that you're planting new seeds. Over time, the subconscious mind begins to accept these affirmations as its new reality, and the outer world adjusts accordingly. Dr. Wayne Dyer often said, you must be willing to see yourself as already the person you intend to become. That's the essence of I am consciousness. You don't wait for the conditions to appear, you become the condition itself. You don't wait for happiness, you am happiness. You don't chase love, you am love. You don't seek success, you am success unfolding. Imagine a garden. Every I am statement is a seed. You can plant weeds or you can plant roses. The soil of the universe doesn't discriminate. It will grow whatever you plant. The moment you realize this, you stop speaking unconsciously. You stop saying I can't and start saying I can. You stop saying I'm not enough and start saying I am more than enough. Because the truth is, you were born enough. You are enough right now. Even when you feel doubt, even when life seems uncertain, remember your I am is stronger than your fear. Your words carry divine authority because they come from the source itself. You are not trying to force reality, you are shaping it through awareness. You are returning home to the truth of your being. Every great transformation begins with this simple shift from identifying with limitation to identifying with infinite potential. The world outside changes when the world inside awakens. Speak your I am statements daily, not as demands, but as declarations of gratitude. Thank the universe in advance for what already exists in the unseen. When you say I am blessed, feel blessed. When you say I am healed, feel wholeness. When you say I am guided, trust that invisible hands are leading you. There is immense creative power in your words, but even greater power in the consciousness behind them. Let your affirmations rise from the awareness that you and the divine are one. The more you live from that truth, the more effortlessly life unfolds. So today, begin again. Let your first thought be, I am light, I am love, I am limitless. Because the moment you speak it, the entire universe listens, and it responds, yes, you are. There is a sacred principle woven through every great spiritual teaching, every law of manifestation, and every miracle that has ever unfolded in a human life. You must feel the reality of your desire before it appears. You must align your emotions with the outcome you wish to create. You cannot simply speak your affirmations. You must feel them as living truth, vibrating within every cell of your being, because the universe does not respond to words alone. It responds to the energy behind those words. Every thought you think carries an emotional frequency. Every feeling you hold is a signal sent into the field of infinite potential. You are constantly broadcasting your inner state to the universe, and the universe in its infinite intelligence matches that signal with experiences that reflect it. That's why you can't affirm abundance while feeling lack and expect prosperity to flow. The vibration of lack contradicts the words of abundance. The feeling must become one with the statement. So when you say, I am successful, it's not enough to repeat it like a mantra on autopilot. You must become the vibration of success. You must feel the sense of gratitude, freedom, confidence, and joy that come with already being successful. You must see yourself as you wish to be and feel as though that reality is unfolding right now, not someday in the future, but here, in this very moment. Dr. Wayne Dyer often reminded us that you'll see it when you believe it, not the other way around. We've been taught to wait for outer evidence before allowing ourselves to feel happiness or fulfillment. We tell ourselves, I'll be grateful when I get the job, or I'll feel successful when I have the money, or I'll feel loved when the right person appears. But that is a misunderstanding of how creation works. The universe doesn't bring you what you want, it brings you what you are. You must feel the reality first, and then the evidence follows. Think of your emotions as creative clay. Every joyful thought, every grateful feeling, every loving vibration shapes the unseen energy field around you. The more vividly you feel what you desire, the faster that unseen energy crystallizes into visible form. When you live in the emotional frequency of your dream, the dream becomes magnetized to you effortlessly, naturally, without strain. Let's take a simple example. Imagine you are affirming, I am abundant. You could say those words 100 times a day, but if your underlying feeling is worry, if you constantly think I don't have enough, then your affirmation becomes hollow. It is like shouting into the wind while holding on to fear. The vibration of abundance cannot enter the field of scarcity. The door is closed by disbelief. But imagine instead that you take a deep breath and close your eyes. You repeat the words slowly, with intention. I am abundant. And as you speak, you begin to imagine what abundance feels like. You picture yourself at peace, generous, grateful, free. You feel a sense of relief, a quiet confidence that all your needs are met. You smile, you relax, you breathe in the feeling of enough. That emotional shift, even if only for a few moments, changes your vibration completely. You move from wanting to being, from asking to allowing. And in that space, the universe can finally respond. When you feel your affirmation, you are activating the creative power of belief. Belief is not an intellectual idea, it is an emotional acceptance of truth. You believe not with your mind, but with your heart. You believe when the feeling of it becomes more real to you than the physical evidence around you. If you look at any great achiever, any spiritual master, any visionary soul, you'll notice something remarkable. They felt the reality of their vision before anyone else could see it. They didn't wait for proof. They became the proof. They aligned their inner world with the reality they wanted to create, and the outer world followed in perfect time. When you feel as if your dream is already true, you begin to act differently. You carry yourself with quiet assurance. You speak with calm authority. You stop worrying, stop chasing, stop doubting. You radiate certainty, not arrogance, but peaceful knowing. This is the energy of faith in action, and faith, as Dr. Dyer often said, is not about hoping something will happen. It's about knowing that it already has in the unseen realm. The universe is a mirror. It does not give you what you long for, it reflects what you are. So if you feel desperate, life will give you more reasons to feel desperate. If you feel grateful, life will multiply your blessings. That's why gratitude is one of the highest emotional frequencies you can live in. Gratitude says to the universe, I already have it. It declares completion, not lack. And in that vibration of completion, more flows in. Try this simple exercise each morning. Before you begin your day, close your eyes and bring to mind one affirmation you wish to embody. Perhaps it's, I am healthy and full of vitality. Don't rush. Don't try to believe it through force. Instead, imagine yourself as healthy. Feel your body vibrant, your energy clear, your mind at ease. Feel the joy of moving freely, breathing deeply, smiling easily. Let that emotion expand through your entire being until it feels real. Stay there for a minute or two. Just bask in it. That feeling is your new frequency. Now when you open your eyes, carry that vibration with you. Walk through your day as if that affirmation were already true. Every action you take, every thought you think, should spring from that energy. Over time, you will notice your reality reshaping itself to match your new inner tone. Feeling the affirmation is like tuning a radio. The music you want to hear is already playing on a certain frequency, but you must dial into it. You can't hear a jazz station if you're tuned to static. In the same way, you can't receive abundance while vibrating in worry or attract love while radiating fear. Feeling aligns your frequency with the outcome you desire. Once the dial clicks into place, the music plays effortlessly. You are not trying to make things happen, you are allowing them to happen by being emotionally aligned. This is what it means to live in harmony with the universe. It's the end of struggle and the beginning of flow. And remember, this is not about pretending or denying what is. You don't have to ignore your current circumstances, you simply choose not to worship them. You can acknowledge what is while emotionally aligning with what you prefer. The outer world is a reflection of yesterday's vibration. The inner feeling is the seed of tomorrow's reality. When you choose to feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, you are honoring the truth that in the field of infinite potential, it already exists. Every possibility, every version of you already exists right now. You are not creating from nothing, you are selecting from the infinite. Feeling is the selector. Emotion is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. So when you say, "I am loved," feel the warmth of love surrounding you. When you say, "I am prosperous," feel the joy of generosity and freedom. When you say, "I am guided," feel the invisible hands of spirit gently leading you forward. These feelings are not daydreams, they are energetic realities, and they are creating new patterns of experience for you in every moment. Dr. Wayne Dyer often said, "Change the way you look at things and the things you look at change." I would add, change the way you feel about things and the world will shift to match that feeling. The power is not in the words alone, it is in the vibration behind them. So today I invite you to stop waiting for proof and begin feeling the proof. Feel the joy before the outcome. Feel the gratitude before the gift. Feel the peace before the solution. Because when you live in that state of feeling, you have already arrived. The universe cannot help but catch up to your vibration. You are not becoming something new, you are remembering what has always been true. Feel it, believe it, live it, and then, as if by divine orchestration, you'll look around and realize what you once affirmed in faith has become the world you now inhabit. There comes a moment in every seeker's journey when the spoken word must become a lived truth. You cannot simply affirm change, you must become the embodiment of it. Your actions must echo the vibration of your intentions. When you align your behavior with your affirmations, you close the gap between who you say you are and how you move through the world. This is where true transformation begins, in the union of thought, feeling, and action. The universe is not testing you, it is responding to you. Every choice you make sends a signal to the divine saying, "This is who I am." So when you affirm, "I am abundant," but act from fear and scarcity, you send out mixed messages. When you affirm, "I am peaceful," but react with anger, you create inner conflict. Yet when your choices mirror your words, when your actions rise to the level of your affirmations, the universe receives a clear message and life begins to flow with effortless grace. Dr. Wayne Dyer often reminded us that we are co-creators with the divine. The energy that flows through you is not passive, it is creative, intelligent, and purposeful. When you speak an affirmation, you awaken this energy, but it is through your actions that you give it form. Spirit provides the blueprint. You provide the movement. It's a sacred partnership. You dream, the universe arranges, and you take inspired steps toward the vision that already exists within you. Let's imagine a person who affirms daily, "I am healthy, strong, and full of vitality." These are beautiful words. But if that person fills their days with stress, neglects rest, or feeds the body with fear and fatigue, the affirmation remains only sound waves in the air. To activate it, one must move in harmony with the statement. Breathe deeply, rest consciously, nourish the body, think kindly, walk in gratitude for the miracle of being alive. Every action becomes an echo of the affirmation, and in time the body responds with vitality. It's important to understand that aligned action does not come from struggle or force. It arises naturally when you feel connected to your affirmation. If you genuinely feel abundant, your actions will express generosity. If you feel love within, you will treat others with kindness. If you feel peace, you will move slowly, speak softly, and live gently. Right action is not something you must push yourself into. It flows from the state of being you cultivate inside. The ego always wants to make things happen, but the soul understands that everything unfolds through inspired movement, not frantic motion. When you are aligned with your affirmation, the next step reveals itself without resistance. You meet the right people, find yourself in the right places, and make decisions that feel effortless because they are guided by the same intelligence that sustains the stars. So how do you align action with affirmation in everyday life? Begin by noticing the small inconsistencies between what you say and what you do. If you affirm peace but fill your mind with conflict, pause. If you affirm abundance but speak constantly of lack, pause. This pause is sacred awareness. It's not about guilt or self-judgment, it's about returning to harmony. The moment you notice misalignment, you have already taken the first step toward change. Imagine your affirmations as seeds and your actions as sunlight and water. Without nourishment, the seeds remain dormant, but when you feed them with consistent behavior, daily habits that reflect your truth, they grow into the reality you desire. You can't plant the seed of I am successful and then water it with procrastination or fear. You nurture it with discipline, gratitude, and trust. You take the call, you write the chapter, you give the best of yourself in each moment, not because you're chasing success, but because you already are success expressing itself through action. Dr. Dyer often said, "You can't just think your way into a new way of living, you must live your way into a new way of thinking." That is the essence of alignment. The world does not change because you repeat words, it changes because your way of being in the world shifts. You become congruent. Your words, feelings, and behaviors flow in the same direction, and when your energy flows in one direction, creation accelerates. There is a deep sense of peace that comes from living in alignment. You no longer feel pulled between faith and doubt, between your dreams and your habits. You wake each morning knowing that every decision, no matter how small, is an opportunity to affirm your divine identity through action. When you choose compassion instead of judgment, you affirm love. When you take care of your health, you affirm wholeness. When you give freely, you affirm abundance. Life becomes a living prayer. Alignment also requires trust. Sometimes the path of right action doesn't look like the easiest or fastest route. The ego might say, "This doesn't make sense," but your higher self knows that each inspired step is perfectly timed. When you feel drawn to do something, to make a call, write a letter, start a project, or release an old habit, follow that guidance. That nudge is spirit moving you into alignment with the reality you've affirmed. If your affirmation is "I am guided," then act as though guidance is real. Take the step that feels right in your heart, even if the mind is uncertain. Faith is action born from inner knowing. You may not see the whole path, but you don't need to. You only need to take the next loving step. Each action of trust becomes a declaration to the universe, "I believe in the truth I have spoken." There's a quiet power in consistency. The universe does not respond to occasional affirmations spoken in fleeting enthusiasm. It responds to the vibration of steady faith expressed through daily action. When you keep showing up for your vision, when you meditate even when you're tired, speak kindly even when you're frustrated, give thanks even when the evidence is small, you are demonstrating alignment. You are saying, "My belief is stronger than my circumstance." And something miraculous happens when your life reaches this level of coherence. You begin to experience synchronicity, those meaningful coincidences that are not coincidences at all. Doors open, opportunities appear, the right words come at the right time. That's not luck. That's alignment. The universe mirrors the rhythm of your inner harmony. You see, action is love in motion. It is the tangible expression of your unseen belief. The divine does not require grand gestures, it asks for sincerity. Every small act performed with awareness carries the full power of creation. When you wash a dish with gratitude, when you smile at a stranger, when you speak gently to yourself, those are sacred acts. Each one reinforces the vibration of your affirmation. If you affirm "I am love" and then express impatience or resentment, simply pause and begin again. You are not meant to be perfect, you are meant to be conscious. Awareness turns even your missteps into progress because you are learning to live awake. Each time you return to alignment, you strengthen the connection between your inner world and your outer actions. Eventually, your affirmations no longer feel like separate practices, they become your natural state. You don't need to remind yourself to act in love because you are. You don't need to try to be abundant because generosity flows effortlessly through you. You don't need to convince yourself of peace because you carry it wherever you go. Your life becomes an affirmation in motion, a living testimony to divine alignment. So today, let your words be clear, your feelings sincere, and your actions aligned. Don't rush to make things happen. Allow them to unfold through you. When thought, feeling, and action move as one, you are no longer striving, you are allowing. You become the conduit through which spirit expresses its perfection in time and space. In that state of harmony, you realize that your affirmations were never about attracting something outside of you. They were always about remembering who you already are, a creative force of love capable of shaping worlds with the energy of conscious intention. Live that truth. Act from that truth. And as you do, watch how effortlessly life begins to reflect back the beauty, peace, and abundance that have been within you all along. Every day is a sacred opportunity to begin again, to realign with the energy of your divine self and to remember who you truly are. The morning and evening are two powerful thresholds in time. They are the bridges between the worlds, between sleep and waking, between the seen and unseen, between the inner realm of spirit and the outer realm of form. How you speak to yourself at these two moments determines the tone and rhythm of your entire life. When you first awaken in the morning, your mind is open, soft, and receptive. You have not yet remembered your name, your schedule, your worries, or your roles. For a few precious seconds, you are pure awareness, a soul untethered from yesterday's stories. That is the moment to plant seeds of intention. Before you reach for your phone, before the mind begins to race, speak to your higher self. Say words that affirm your connection to the divine. Whisper to the universe, today I align with love. Today I live in peace. Today I am guided by light. Today I live in peace. Today I am guided by light. This practice is not about positive thinking, it is about conscious creation. The thoughts you choose at dawn are like the first brushstrokes on the canvas of your day. If you begin in gratitude, your day will unfold in grace. If you begin in worry, you'll spend the day chasing calm that was always available. The early morning is your most potent hour because your subconscious mind, the silent engine of your reality, is most impressionable when you wake. Every affirmation you speak in those moments sinks deep into the fertile soil of the subconscious and begins to shape the energy of your experience. You don't need elaborate rituals. You don't have to force belief. Simply speak truth. If your heart feels heavy, say, I am open to peace. If you feel lost, say, I am guided. If you feel small, say, I am an expression of the infinite. You are not trying to become something different. You are remembering what you have always been. Dr. Wayne Dyer often said, begin each day as if it were on purpose. That means waking up not to your problems, but to your potential. It means setting your inner compass toward the light, regardless of the weather around you. When you choose to begin with intention, the universe rearranges itself to support your vibration. You start noticing synchronicities, meeting people who uplift you, finding solutions before you even ask. Life starts to feel less like a struggle and more like a dance, because you're moving with the rhythm of divine energy rather than against it. Equally powerful is the sacred space before sleep. The few minutes before you close your eyes are the doorway between worlds. In that stillness, the conscious mind begins to dissolve and the subconscious opens wide, absorbing every word, every feeling, every image you send it. That's why it's so important not to fall asleep in anger, regret, or fear. The emotions you sleep with are the ones your subconscious will replay through the night. Instead, make the final moments of your day a spiritual homecoming. Release the noise of the world. Turn off the lights, take a slow breath, and speak to your inner being with love. Say, I am grateful for this day. I am at peace with all that has unfolded. I trust that everything is working out for my highest good. These are not just words, they are frequencies. They tell your entire system that it is safe to rest, safe to trust, safe to let go. As you drift toward sleep, imagine yourself surrounded by light. Feel that light holding you gently, washing away the tension of the day. Breathe in love, exhale worry. Let your last thought be a blessing for yourself, for those you love, even for those who have challenged you. Because when you sleep in love, you wake in peace. The practice of speaking daily, morning and night, creates spiritual momentum. It turns affirmations from isolated moments into a way of life. Just as brushing your teeth maintains your physical hygiene, affirming truth maintains your energetic hygiene. You cleanse your mind of negativity, doubt, and fear before they can take root. Over time, you begin to notice that the gap between your affirmations and your experience grows smaller. The peace you once had to remind yourself of becomes your natural state. Many people ask, how long do I have to do affirmations before they work? The answer is until you no longer need to ask the question. Affirmations are not tools for getting things. They are invitations to become aligned with the energy of who you already are. The repetition is not for the universe's sake, it is for yours. You are reprogramming the old patterns of unworthiness and limitation that were never true. You are writing new instructions for your consciousness, instructions that say, I am divine, I am whole, I am free. If you wake each morning and speak from your heart, and if you fall asleep each night with gratitude, you will find that life begins to meet you halfway. The external world softens. Challenges that once felt heavy become opportunities for expansion. People respond differently to you because your energy has shifted. You are no longer reacting to life, you are creating it. And it's not about perfection. There will be mornings when you forget, nights when your mind feels too restless to focus. That's okay. The power lies in returning again and again to your center. Even one conscious affirmation in the morning, one sentence spoken with sincerity, can redirect the flow of your day. One loving thought before sleep can heal the energy of your night. You might begin to notice subtle changes, a calmer heart, a quieter mind, a sense that things are unfolding just as they should. That's not coincidence, that's coherence. You are aligning with the natural rhythm of life, where everything happens in divine order. Dr. Dyer used to remind us that the last 5 minutes before you fall asleep are the most important 5 minutes of your day. During those moments, your mind becomes a transmitter, sending your final vibrations into the infinite. If those thoughts are fearful, you attract more fear. If they are loving, you attract love. So fill that space intentionally. You might say, thank you for this life, thank you for my breath, thank you for the gift of another day. Gratitude is the language of alignment. It signals to the universe that you are ready to receive more of what you appreciate. Likewise, how you begin your morning sets the frequency for everything that follows. When you start your day with words of power, you anchor your consciousness in the divine before the world can distract you. Even 5 minutes of stillness, of speaking truth to yourself, can change the quality of your entire day. You walk differently, you speak differently, you meet challenges not as problems, but as invitations to remain aligned with your truth. The great gift of speaking daily, morning and night, is that it keeps you connected to the eternal. No matter what happens in your external world, you have a sacred rhythm that reminds you of who you are. You are not the chaos of your circumstances, you are the calm within them. You are not the noise of the world, you are the silence beneath it. When you live this way, your life becomes a prayer without words. Every breath, every action, every moment becomes an expression of divine awareness. You realize that your affirmations were never about creating a new self. They were about uncovering the one that was always there, waiting beneath the noise of the mind. So as you wake tomorrow, before you move or think or reach for anything, place your hand on your heart and say, I am here, I am grateful, I am guided. And as you lie down tonight before you drift into sleep, whisper softly, thank you, Divine Source, for another day of growth, of love, of life. If you do only this, if you speak truth at dawn and gratitude at dusk, you will discover a peace that does not depend on circumstances, a joy that no storm can take, and a connection that no distance can break. For in those sacred moments, you are communing with the infinite. You are remembering that the universe lives within you, and that every word you speak in love is and always has been a conversation with God.